Today's episode is going to be about a guy who's 33, he's a dad of two, and he's the owner of probably one of the biggest or most popular, coolest burger joints on the Sunshine Coast, which he started as a small food trailer in 2020, and then it moved to a physical store worth, I think, $100,000, but I'll double check with him a couple of years ago. His name is Josh Johnston. Take me back to the first time you flipped a burger. Did anyone teach you how to make one, or did you?
No. So the first time I flipped a burger was actually when I got the food truck, basically. That's the first time I smashed a burger.
Really?
Before that, I never did a smash burger. So it was more like just the traditional thicker patty burgers.
Did anyone teach you how to smash a burger?
No.
Did you ever have a feeling of like, I do like cooking, or?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Like I cooked a lot from a kid, and my dad's also a really good cook. So I guess I kind of learned most off him. But I think the biggest thing, it was definitely I was a kid, and because my dad, he worked on the oil rig, so he worked away, so he'd do a month on, month off. Yeah. So kind of when he was away, I sort of took over like the household
the
cooking.
role.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Did he have hard meals to make, or were you like, Dad, can you give me something easier? He's like, just make burgers every day.
No, it was just like your general, like just making dinner, basically. But yeah, I've always had the passion for cooking, like something I've always enjoyed.
How old were you when you would do that?
I was, I don't know, probably like as far back as I can remember, maybe 8,
8?
9, 10, probably started cooking. Yeah.
If I started cooking at 8, I would like burn the house down, and then Dad would come back and be like, why did you? Don't step up.
Yeah.
You're too young to step up.
Yeah. No, I was pretty young when I started doing it, and then all through my teenage years as well.
What made you go, okay, I want to pick a burger, but also you've got like Betty's Burgers, McDonald's, like these giants who are like, we've been doing this for years. Like, who are you to come in and try and do this?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's hard. It's very competitive for the burger scene, and especially having McDonald's as well. Like, a lot of people sort of compare you to McDonald's, and more in the sense of like pricing and with the speed of making burgers and that. So that is like a big challenge, like trying to compete with those guys.
What do you reckon the biggest difference between you and McDonald's is?
Oh, it's definitely like the quality, I suppose, like the freshness. Yeah. Like we make everything to order, so it does take a little bit extra time. But if someone comes in and gets a burger, orders a burger, we make it right then and there for them. Sort of sitting, like the traditional McDonald's burgers are.
Yeah.
So, and I think just more the quality ingredients that we use. So, like I source a lot of high quality products as well.
Before you decided, like, okay, I'm going to launch Chomp Burgers, you were a glazier.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and you did that for like more than a decade.
Yeah.
So, what got you into that? And because if you're like, I have this deep passion for food, and then you're like, I'm going to go and cut glass.
Well, the funny thing actually was, I did work for Hungry Jack's in my teen years, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. And that's the only hospitality experience I had, was Hungry Jack's. So then at that point in time, I was like, I like cooking, but I didn't really like, and I don't know whether it's just the Hungry Jack's atmosphere or whatnot, but so then I kind of didn't want to go into chefing. And then when I was at school, they set up like school-based traineeships and that through school. And they just got me connected up with one as a glazier. So I just did that, and then I just stuck with that. I kind of enjoy that. Like I like the manual labour and being outdoors and all that sort of stuff as well. So it was enjoyable, and I was making good money doing it. So there was really no complaints with it.
True.
But then, I guess after I did that for 13 years, and I kind of got to that point, the stage where I was like, is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Do I want to do something else? And you always hear like everyone say, follow your passion and do that for you the rest of your life or whatever, So that's sort of where then I made the jump from that and then back into food. Because I easily could have kept working my way up in glazing, or I could have easily started a glazing business. Like I knew the industry inside and out, and I had the skills for it. But I just would wake up in the morning, I just didn't want to do it anymore.
I was going to say, like, when you were out there cutting glass, installing glass, were you ever thinking, like, were business ideas, like, swirling through your mind? Like, and did you have any that weren't Chomp Burgers? Like,
obviously food, because I didn't really settle on Chomp until I've, like, fully committed to I'm going to start a business.
Yeah.
But before that, it was food. Like I always wanted to sort of own a restaurant. Or
Did you have it?
something like
What were your other ideas that didn't quite make it?
So obviously there was like pizza.
Yeah.
I really enjoy Indian food,
Same.
but that was going to be a lot more of a challenge, I feel, for me to go into sort of Indian food. But yeah, it was kind of like I wanted to do something simple and sort of easy and that was popular that people would sort of come back. Because like I didn't really know if my food was any good, I never really cooked food for like the general public.
Sure, like your mum would say this is fine,
yeah. Like,
but she's like,
family and friends would say, oh yeah, this is great, like you cooked a great meal, but then you don't, you're like, oh, are they being a bit biased, or are they just saying it tastes good? Yeah. So that was like I didn't know if people would come back. Yeah. So that's why I just wanted to try and do something that was sort of simple and basic that you couldn't get too horribly wrong.
I was going to say, so you started with a $15,000 food trailer.
Yes.
That's like how Chomp Burgers started.
Yes. Yeah.
Were you nervous about investing that much money?
Yeah, I was, and in the scheme of things, it's not really that much money. But I was, and that was the reason why I bought. It was just a little dome trailer. You could only fit like 2 people in it, maybe 3 sometimes we have in there. Yeah. So it was just a little trailer, and that's why I went with that option because it was like a smaller outlay for the risk.
When you first sold burgers from the food trailer, what was the first day like? And did people actually like your burgers?
Yeah. So the first day was we actually set up at Ten Toes, the brewery. It actually went really well. Everything ran pretty smoothly, and we had a lot of great feedback. Yeah, it was good.
So if you went from you started with the food trailer, and then you evolved into a food truck, and then now the store.
Yep.
How did all of that? I guess, what was behind that? Like, why did you make all those evolutions?
So, obviously, from the beginning, my plan was to own the restaurant, to have a store, have multiple stores, keep sort of growing. And like I say, I just wanted to minimise the risk because I wasn't sure if people were going to eat my food. Yeah. So I thought, okay, rather than trying to put all my money into a restaurant, I'll start with a trailer and we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Then we obviously got busier and busier, outgrew the trailer, so I went to the truck because I was like, oh, this is obviously working. It's good. We had good setup. So I went to the truck, and then we just kept growing and growing and growing, and just kind of outgrew the truck as well, because we would sell out every time we opened.
When you say outgrew, do you mean like you just can't sell, like you can't fit the truck with enough burgers?
I couldn't. I couldn't really, load more food in. I guess like sometimes we could take like an esky with stuff in.
I was going to say, could you have like 1,000 eskies out the back and be like, bring in more eskies?
Yeah. But then you've got to sort of get it all there as well, and that. So
yeah, true.
But that was the goal, was to have the shop. So then I just thought, okay, so now I'll just move from the truck into the shop and hopefully keep moving into more shops.
So just with that food truck space, what are like the pros and cons of running a food truck? Because I feel like it's a kind of a strange business model to be like, I want to own a food truck and then kind of like caravan around with other food trucks. Yeah. And then like, what's that scene like? And would you recommend it for someone? Or
I definitely would recommend it. It's unique. It is. It's different. I mean, the good thing about it is it's low overheads. Yeah. Like in the scheme of it, if you want to own a business, like it's pretty low in the overheads. But also, what I found was like that there was a capacity of what you could produce from it. Right. So if you do want to continue growing, then you kind of need to move. Yeah. I mean, you could move into several trucks if you wanted to. Yeah.
You didn't want to do that? You didn't want to be like on a fleet of trucks?
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. I just I prefer the permanent location. People know where you are all the time. They can come to you, get what they need. But I think like the downside I had with it that I probably didn't enjoy the most was sort of like the setting up and the packing up. There's a lot of work that went into that. Like you're setting up your whole kitchen, and then you're packing your whole kitchen down, and then also storage. Like I had to keep product at my house as well. So I had fridges and freezers all laid out through my house, because that's where you had to keep all your stocks.
Yeah. How many fridges and freezers did you have?
I had a fridge, a big fridge, and a big freezer out in the shed.
You didn't have like fridges. It
wasn't heaps, no.
I'm picturing like fridges in your master bedroom, and your wife's like, can we maybe?
No, it wasn't that extreme. Because I mean, obviously, you still get stuff delivered regularly. Okay, but you still had to have storage. So it was kind of, I had like a lot of stuff sort of spread out. Yeah. Whereas here, I like this where everything's just here.
What was your revenue, if you're happy? Like, what was your revenue last year? Or like, what's your biggest month?
Our biggest month, I think we We generally do anywhere from about the 50 to 70,000 a month.
Wow.
I think last year we did, I don't know the exact figures, I think we were around about 700,000, something like that.
700. And do you have like a PowerPoint of like, okay, and next year I want to get to like 1 million, and like, do you have targets like that or?
Yeah, obviously a million's kind of a goal. That's your first big step, I guess, is if you can make.
Do you reckon you'll make $1
million
million this year?
Possibly. I mean, the location we're at, if we made $1 million, would be extraordinary, I think, just because we're not like in a super high traffic area. If you're down on the Bar or the Plaza, you'd be aiming for that 100%. Yeah. So I think like the 700 mark for where we are here is quite good. But I think we could do $1 million. I mean, I've been thinking about putting in a food not a food license. I've got one of those already.
Yeah, I was like, do you?
No, liquor license. So that would definitely boost your sales as well.
So I don't know if money's like the driving factor for you, but if you've been doing this since early 2020 and you're coming in and like you're selling the same product, burgers, do you ever wake up some days and you're like, I don't want to do it today? Or like, what motivates you? Like, what's your...
Of course there's days like that where you have like that where you get tired of it. Because, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of work. And especially for me, like I never owned a business and never really worked in the hospitality industry. So I was kind of just in the dark, like I was just sort of winging it. I still am sort of winging it.
Do you feel like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got 12 staff and they're looking up to you and you're like, I don't have the answers. I'm going to go to the bathroom and jump on ChatGPT.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, it is like it can get tiring. Also, but I don't know. I think I've always just sort of had like a strong work ethic. Like my father, he always worked really hard, and he made us as kids work hard as well. Like, so we grew up on a farm, so we were always sort of working. Like my school holidays, we'd work with Dad all the time, doing fencing or building stuff.
Were you a dairy farmer?
No.
Just because the irony would be funny.
I'm a competitive person as well. Like I've always played sport. I love sport and I love competition.
What's your favourite? Like, what's your sport?
I played a lot of rugby league.
Oh.
Yeah. I played a lot of rugby league. Motorbikes, all right.
Oh, so you're like a motocross, rugby, farmer type who's now doing really well with the burger company.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I think that kind of helps because like I don't want to quit or I don't want to lose, you know. So I think that's sort of what drives me. Yeah.
Don't want to quit, don't want to lose. Yeah, that's good.
And
so you've got 2 kids.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hard juggling being like, I've got to run a business and 12 people?
Yeah.
And then I've also got 2 kids who need to live and stay alive. Is that juggling?
Yeah, definitely
hard?
it is. I mean, and the kids want your attention the whole time as well. So, and I mean, and you have a business that wants your attention the whole time as well. So you have both pulling at you.
Do you feel like you're a dad of 3?
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what it's like. Yeah, you know. So you have to try and spread your time out with everyone. And
in my mind, one of the most fun parts of being a burger joint owner would be naming the burgers. So can I run 5 names by you?
Okay.
And you just tell me if they're good or terrible. All right. So the first one, it's like quite a lettuce heavy burger. It's called Let Us Pray.
Let Us Pray.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's going to make... I don't think that'll cover.
Okay. Second one, The Garden of Eden.
Yeah, it's a little bit better.
You could maybe have it on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay. 3, a beef one, Simon Cowell.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't mind that one.
Okay. Now they're going to get a little bit worse now. So the last 2, it's a chicken burger, breast implants.
I mean, it sounds cool. I don't know if you could put it on your menu though. It sounds good.
Okay. And the last one, because you sell smashed burgers, it's called Would You Smash? ?
Yeah, that's right. We'd put that one on.
Really?
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. So looking ahead at the future, you've got this store, but I know that you talked about wanting maybe another in Caloundra or Noosa. Do you have a second store in mind, or...?
Obviously, that's the dream. At the moment, there's nothing really in the works. It is the goal, but I mean, from opening up one store and just sort of understanding what it takes to operate it, going into a second store is a massive undertaking. There's a lot of work involved in it.
Yeah. What's your 5-year or 10-year plan?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I want to expand it, and I mean, and I look at Betty's Burgers and what they've done, and like sort of emulating something like that would definitely be what I want to achieve. Yeah. So
Do you have like would you want to branch out to like, okay, I want more stores across Sunshine Coast, then maybe New South Wales, and like, is your picture that big or?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's hard to say until that's actually happening and you're in that situation. But yeah, I think like I definitely want to have at least 2 here on the coast, and then kind of maybe just start to spread out and just see how it goes, I suppose. Yeah.
This is the last question. If someone were to come in here, like myself or like some wealthy businessman, they're like, I want to buy Chomp Burgers, would you sell it? And like, what would the price be?
At this point, I don't think I would sell it. I would maybe look at like them as an investment opportunity or a partnership or something like that.
Yeah. Give me your money, but don't take this away from me.
Yeah. No, I think I've got like 2 big ideas for it. Like I've got big plans for Chomp. So yeah, I don't think I would sell it at this point in time. No.
Yeah. Awesome.
So,
dude, that's it. We're done. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
and
cheers.
I'll see you when you're as big as or bigger than Betty's
Bigger
Burgers.
than Betty's, yeah.
Sorry, bigger than Betty's.
Yeah,
that also could be a name if you want to pivot.
Well, we used to actually at the beginning we had people come in and that was kind of like their slogan. They'd all be like, "It's better than Betty's."
Really?
Like we'd get people come up. They're like,
Could you?
"Yeah, it's
You
better than Betty's."
You can't legally have that, right?
No, I don't know. Maybe. I don't
Just
know.
try it and see what happens.
Yeah, better than Betty's. So,
That's good.
but yeah, we used to hear that a lot from people. Yeah,
It's so funny.
It's better than Betty's.